Today, you're about to witness one of the most chaotic courtroom confrontations you've ever seen. Meet Daniel M., a sovereign citizen who refuses to play by the rules. From the moment the trial starts, he refuses to answer the judge's questions, interrupts the proceedings, and constantly challenges the courtroom. He's facing serious charges, assaulting, resisting, or obstructing a police officer, which could land him up to 2 years in jail or a $2,000 fine. But what really makes this case explode isn't just the charges, it's Daniel's attitude. He argues, deflects, and acts like the rules don't apply to him, wasting everyone's time and testing the limits of the judge's patience. Judge Simpson tries to maintain order, repeatedly warning Daniel about his disrespectful behavior and the risk of being held in contempt. But the defendant doesn't back down, even claiming that the case cost him custody of his son. A claim the narrator points out is more about his own behavior than the law itself. As tensions rise, the courtroom becomes a battlefield of patience versus defiance. Will the judge finally put his foot down? Or will Daniel continue to disrupt the proceedings? You won't want to miss a second of this jaw-dropping courtroom showdown.
That in this case you are charged with the offense of assaulting, resisting, or obstructing a police officer. That is a high court misdemeanor felony, punishable by up to 2 years and or $2,000 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
I understand you, Charge.
You understand also that there is great peril in one representing themselves. You understand that, sir?
I'm not afraid, Your Honor.
Did you understand what I just said? That there is great peril in representing oneself.
I comprehend what you're saying, Your Honor.
Hey, what? Either you're going to answer my questions and you're going to answer them properly, or we're going to have a long time and I'm not going to have these people wait. So while you decide how you're going to handle this, I'm going to have you have a seat. I'm going to pass your case. You will come back up and you will learn how to operate within this court. Plain and simple. Have a seat. Have a seat. And you might want to wipe that smirk off your face while you're doing it. State your name.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Daniel Magoo.
I have stated the admonishments that I was giving to the defendant representing himself. I apprised him of the maximum penalties and the charges. Apprised him, and sir, I'll ask you the question again. You understand that there can be great peril in representing yourself?
I fully recognize and acknowledge the seriousness of the charges, which include allegations of
not my question. You understand that there can be serious peril in representing yourself?
I recognize what you're saying, and I'm fully prepared to proceed with this matter.
Will you just do me a favor and answer my question? Do you understand that there is great peril in representing oneself?
I recognize that.
Okay, then stop there. You recognize that.
Recognize.
Do you understand that that in any of the proceedings that the court would hold you to the same standards as if you were a practicing attorney, will give no leeway one way or the other, will show no favoritism or no bias because you are representing yourself? You understand that, sir?
I recognize what you're saying, Your Honor.
You know what? I don't know why you just won't understand. I'm asking you, and I need a direct answer, whether you understand what I am saying, not whether or not you're recognizing the words. Do you understand what I am saying? You want to be,
Your Honor.
You have a seat.
I'm not.
Have a seat.
Your Honor, I haven't had.
Have a seat. You can play games with me all day. I got all day. I got all day. Have a seat. The other one's in custody. I realize we are now at least caught up within an hour. I think those that want to go probably want me to take a break about now. So I'm going to take about a 5 to 10 minute break. I'll come back out and then I'll call the case. The court's going to stand in recess.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Daniel Magoo here in Dewey Juris.
All right, so on this matter, I was apprising you of your rights. I told you about the charges in this case. We get to the point of understanding that there is a certain peril in representing.
Listening, sorry. My notes, I apologize, Your Honor. I meant no disrespect.
And that the court will treat you the same as an attorney in the case. You understand, sir? Listen closely to my question. Do you understand that?
I do not understand.
You do not understand it.
No.
The court, you will be presumed to know the rules of procedure as well as the Michigan rules of evidence, that the court will not be giving you assistance in regard to this case.
What I'm trying to say, Your Honor, is I do not understand the charges that are pitting against me because they violate a lot of my rights. And the prosecutor served me the discovery packet on the 27th of last month. Since then, I have not received any kind of evidence or any kind of claims that I violated any kind of anything that day. So I'm here waiting for that to occur. So no, I don't understand.
Waiting for what to occur?
Well, under the rights to due process, Your Honor, 4th, 5th, 8th Amendment, there has to be substantiated amount of evidence to accuse me of a crime, like assault on a police officer, obstruction of justice, and resisting arrest. I take these charges very serious, Your Honor. Because of these charges, I have lost custody of my son, and I want to make sure that these justice is served and equity is ensured here.
Sir, I just asked you before whether or not you understood the charges.
And I answered you, Your Honor. I said I do not understand them.
Whether or not you disagree with them or not, is not the issue. The issue is do you understand what you are charged with?
I do not understand, Your Honor.
Is there a reason other than what you said that you do not understand?
I can elaborate a little further, Your Honor. I'm still waiting.
I wish you wouldn't. I just need to understand why you don't understand.
I'm trying to get there, Your Honor, if we could talk
I'm
about
not asking you whether or not you agree that you should be charged. I'm not asking whether or not you believe that you did it. I'm not asking any of that. I'm asking whether or not you understand what you are charged with.
Can we agree to disagree on the legalese?
We are not going to agree to anything. This is not your game to play here. You play by my rules.
So you're saying that I have to say the words, I understand?
Sir, I'm not saying that you have to say anything.
Okay.
You know what? Here's the thing. I am not going to play this game with you.
I'm not.
So what? No, you are playing a game.
I'm not.
So no, you are. And do not interrupt me ever again. Do not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a week to think about it, because I'm not going to sit here, call your case up 4 or 5 times for you to sit here and to go through this whole, try to play some semantical game. So I will adjourn this out to December 12th, 2024. I will adjourn it to 9 a.m. or I will. Do not interrupt me.
I can object to
do
that.
Do not interrupt. Do not. One more time. You're going. I've given you fair warning. I'm adjourning the proceeding out. If you are objecting to that, objections noted. It's still adjourned out to the 12th. Bond will continue. You
Your
may
Honor,
leave now.
I have constitutional.
You may leave now.
Let's go. Let's go.
I have a right to
You
a
may
counsel.
leave
Do I not have a right to a counsel?
You want an attorney, you may get on an attorney, sir?
I need somebody to explain the problem here.
Do you wish to be represented by an attorney on this?
I do not need to represent myself. I'm presenting myself. I'm the only one that was there in this courtroom. No one was there. I don't recall anybody that was there that day. I'm the only one that knows what happened, Your Honor.
Do you wish
and I was
to be
violated.
represented by an attorney? I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. If you wish to be represented by an attorney,
Your Honor, I have constitutional violations.
do you wish to be represented by an attorney,
You
sir?
take an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States of
Then,
America.
if you do not want to answer my question, Mr. Allen, he is to be removed from my courtroom.
You are about to witness one of the most tense and chaotic courtroom confrontations ever recorded. At the center of it is Daniel M., a sovereign citizen who refuses to follow the rules of the court and consistently challenges authority at every turn. From the very start, Daniel makes it clear that he does not intend to cooperate. He avoids answering the judge's questions directly, interrupts proceedings, and insists on representing himself, all while demonstrating a complete disregard for the legal system. The courtroom, which should be a place of order and procedure, quickly becomes a stage for his defiance, testing the limits of patience for everyone present. Daniel faces serious charges: assaulting, resisting, or obstructing a police officer, a high court misdemeanor that carries up to 2 years in prison or a fine of $2,000. Despite the severity of these charges, Daniel rarely focuses on the legal details. Instead, he acts as though the courtroom exists to entertain his arguments, constantly deflecting, questioning, and challenging every instruction or question posed by the judge. He sidesteps the issues, refuses to admit understanding of the charges, and repeatedly interrupts, forcing the court to constantly redirect the proceedings. Each moment of Daniel's defiance not only prolongs the case but also wastes time and resources, drawing attention to the strain such behavior places on the judicial system. Judge Simpson maintains a level of patience throughout this ordeal, issuing repeated warnings to Daniel about the consequences of his disruptive behavior. He explains that continual interruptions and disrespect could result in a contempt of court charge, a serious offense that carries penalties of its own. Despite these warnings, Daniel pushes back at every opportunity, asserting his own interpretation of the law, often using pseudo-legal jargon or misapplied concepts. His refusal to acknowledge the authority of the court highlights a common trait seen in sovereign citizens: the belief that they are somehow outside the reach of established law. The courtroom tension rises as Daniel continues to speak over the judge, dismiss legal advice, and challenge standard procedures. His behavior frustrates not only the judge but also court staff and anyone watching the proceedings. The narrator emphasizes that every minute of Daniel's antics costs taxpayers money, as everyone involved in the trial, from clerks to bailiffs, is paid by the hour. It becomes clear that his actions are not just a legal problem but a disruption to the system itself. At one point, Daniel claims that the case has cost him custody of his son, suggesting that the legal system is personally targeting him. However, the narrator points out that it is not the case itself, but rather Daniel's own actions and attitude that have contributed to this loss. His unwillingness to follow court procedures, combined with his confrontational demeanor, has far-reaching consequences that extend beyond the courtroom. The courtroom becomes a reflection of the broader impact of defiance: how individual behavior can escalate minor legal matters into personal crises. Throughout the hearing, the judge's patience is tested repeatedly. Daniel's refusal to answer questions directly or take responsibility for his actions creates an ongoing struggle for control. Each interruption and attempt to redirect the conversation draws the courtroom further into chaos. Even as the judge enforces the rules, Daniel continues to resist, challenging the very authority of the court with every statement he makes. This ongoing conflict demonstrates the unique challenges that arise when defendants choose to reject the guidance and structure of the legal system. The exchange between Daniel and the judge serves as a vivid example of what happens when personal beliefs collide with the law. Daniel's insistence on representing himself, combined with his misunderstanding of legal procedures, exposes him to additional risks, yet he persists. The courtroom transforms into a battleground of wills, where the tension is not only legal but deeply personal. Viewer can see the strain on both sides, the judge trying to uphold the law and maintain order, and the defendant pushing boundaries at every opportunity. As the proceedings continue, Daniel's behavior escalates. He interrupts repeatedly, challenges the judge's authority, and engages in long-winded explanations that often go nowhere. The judge, maintaining composure, repeatedly reminds him that the courtroom is not a place for theatrics and that respect for the law is mandatory. Despite these efforts, Daniel continues to test limits, forcing the court to take decisive actions to regain control. The ongoing conflict highlights the difficulties courts face when defendants refuse to comply with standard legal procedures, creating a drawn-out process that can consume hours or even days. The narrator emphasizes that Daniel's behavior exemplifies a broader issue: how a single individual's refusal to cooperate can disrupt the efficiency of the legal system. Each argument, each interruption, each attempt to deflect responsibility compounds the complexity of the case, turning what could have been a straightforward hearing into a prolonged standoff. Daniel's confrontational approach not only slows the proceedings but also creates emotional stress for everyone involved: the judge, the staff, and the viewer observing this unusual courtroom drama. Despite the chaos, Judge Simpson remains measured, demonstrating how judicial patience is critical in situations like this. The judge balances firmness with tolerance, issuing clear warnings about the consequences of contempt and explaining the seriousness of the charges. His approach underscores the responsibility of the court to maintain authority while ensuring that defendants have the opportunity to present themselves. Yet, Daniel's repeated interruptions and refusal to follow court protocol continue to challenge that balance, revealing the delicate interplay between legal authority and individual defiance. Daniel's claims about losing custody of his son add another layer to the tension. While he attributes the loss to the legal system, the narrator clarifies that his own behavior, choices, and confrontational attitude are more likely the real reasons behind these personal consequences. This situation serves as a reminder that legal battles are not only about statutes and fines, they are also about personal accountability and the broader implications of one's actions. Daniel's refusal to recognize this reality creates a ripple effect, demonstrating how courtroom behavior can extend beyond the immediate legal context into life-altering outcomes. Throughout the entire hearing, the courtroom dynamic is one of escalating tension. Daniel continues to resist instructions, challenge authority, and disrupt proceedings, while the judge strives to maintain order, respect, and fairness. The narrative emphasizes the clash between law and personal belief, highlighting the consequences of ignoring legal norms. Daniel's actions illustrate how defiance, when combined with misunderstanding and arrogance, can turn a relatively simple case into a prolonged spectacle, consuming resources, testing patience, and impacting lives far beyond the courtroom walls. By the end of the hearing, viewer can see both sides of this confrontation clearly. The judge demonstrates professionalism, patience, and a commitment to upholding the law, while Daniel embodies the chaos that arises when personal beliefs and legal realities collide. His refusal to cooperate or accept responsibility shows the dangers of self-representation without understanding, and the consequences that can follow when defiance overtakes reason. The case becomes a dramatic illustration of accountability, consequences, and the tension that arises when law and individual behavior clash. This courtroom showdown leaves viewer reflecting on a simple but powerful lesson. The law operates on structure, procedure, and respect, and ignoring these principles can have far-reaching personal and legal consequences. Daniel M's story is not just about charges or fines, it is a cautionary tale about behavior, attitude, and the importance of navigating the legal system wisely. Every interruption, every deflection, and every challenge adds to the drama, making this one of the most striking examples of courtroom chaos and the limits of patience under pressure.